Billy always listens to his mother. He always does what she says. If his mother says, "Brush your teeth," Billy brushes his teeth. If his mother says, "Go to bed," Billy goes to bed. Billy is a very good boy. A good boy listens to his mother. His mother doesn't have to ask him again. She asks him to do something one time, and she doesn't ask again. Billy is a good boy. He does what his mother asks the first time. She doesn't have to ask again. She tells Billy, "You are my best child." Of course Billy is her best child. Billy is her only child. Nancy wants to live a long time. She wants to live for 100 years. She is 5 years old now. She wants to live 95 more years. Then she will be 100. Her father is 30 years old. He wants to live a long time too. He wants to live for 100 years. He wants to live for 70 more years. "Daddy, we will grow old together, okay?" Nancy said to her father. "Yes, honey, we will grow old together," he said to Nancy. Then Nancy smiled. She gave her daddy a big hug. Bobby woke up because he heard a dog. He heard a dog barking outside his window. Bobby woke up when he heard the dog barking. Bobby got out of bed. He got out of bed and walked to the window. He looked out the window. He saw a big brown dog. It was barking very loud. Bobby opened his window. He looked at the barking dog. "Why are you barking so loud?" he asked the dog. The dog looked at Bobby. Then it stopped barking. David lost his yellow pencil. He could not find it. "Where is my yellow pencil?" he asked his sister. His sister did not know. "I don't know where your pencil is," she said. David thought about it. He thought and thought. He used his yellow pencil before lunch. He used it to write a note to his teacher. The note said, "Dear teacher, thank you for helping me, David." He put the note in an envelope. Where was the envelope? He looked in the kitchen. He looked on the kitchen counter. He found the envelope. It was next to the toaster. He found the pencil. It was under the toaster. "Can I ride my horse, Mommy?" Sarah asked her mom. Sarah loved to ride her horse. She rode her horse almost every Saturday. "Okay, honey, get ready to go," her mom said. Sarah was happy. She went into her bedroom. She put her pink socks on. She put her pink sneakers on. She grabbed her pink hat. She went to the front door. "I'm going to wait in the car," she told her mom. "Okay, I'll be there in a minute," her mom said. Sarah opened the car door. She sat down in the front seat. She put on her hat. She was excited. Brian sat down for dinner. He sat down in the chair. He sat down at the table. He looked at his white plate. He looked at his silver fork. He looked at his silver spoon. His dad said, "Pass me your plate, Brian." His dad put white rice on the plate. His dad put yellow corn on the plate. His dad put green peas on the plate. He gave the plate back to Brian. "This looks delicious," Brian said. "It is delicious," his dad said. Brian wondered why corn was yellow. He wondered why peas were green. He wondered if there were yellow peas and green corn. Brenda sang a song. She sang the song while she walked to school. The name of the song was "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." Brenda liked to sing this song. It was her favorite song to sing. She sang it every day while she walked to school. Sometimes she sang it with her best friend. Sometimes her best friend walked to school with Brenda. Then they both sang the song together. Brenda liked the song because it was easy to remember the words. Row, row, row your boat are easy words to remember. Johnny jumped over the dog. The dog was lying on the ground. Johnny jumped over it. The dog saw Johnny jump over it. The dog got up. The dog got up and barked at Johnny. Johnny laughed. He laughed while the dog barked. Johnny ran over to the fence. The dog chased him to the fence. Johnny jumped over the fence. He turned around and looked at the dog. The dog stopped at the fence. The dog could not jump over the fence. Johnny said, "Jump, jump." The dog barked, but did not jump. Mary ate a blueberry. She loved blueberries. Then she ate a blackberry. She loved blackberries. Then she ate a strawberry. She loved strawberries. Mary was confused. A blueberry is blue, so you call it a blueberry. A blackberry is black, so you call it a blackberry. A strawberry is red, so why don't you call it a red berry? Mary asked her mom. Her mom didn't know. She asked her dad. Her dad didn't know. She asked her little brother. Because a red berry is a cherry, her brother said. James took the milk out of the refrigerator. He put the carton of milk on the counter. He took the cap off the carton of milk. He opened the kitchen cabinet. He took a glass out of the cabinet. He put the glass on the counter next to the milk. He poured some milk into the glass. He put the cap back on the carton of milk. He put the milk back into the refrigerator. He took the chocolate syrup out of the refrigerator. He poured some chocolate syrup into the glass of milk. He stirred the milk with a spoon. He licked the spoon. Patricia did not have much time. It was time to go to work. She did not want to be late for work. She would lose her job if she was late. She finished her coffee. She drank the last drop. She put the coffee cup in the kitchen sink. She turned on the kitchen faucet. She poured water into the cup. She turned off the faucet. She picked up her keys. The keys were on the kitchen table. She grabbed her gray coat. Her gray coat was on the chair. The chair was next to the door. She walked outside. She locked her door with her house key. Mike was ready for bed. It was 11 o'clock. He had to get up early the next day. The next day he was going fishing. Fish wake up early. They look for food early in the day. They look for food late in the day. The best time to fish is early or late in the day. That is when the fish are hungry. Mike set his alarm. He set his alarm for 5 o'clock. The next day he would start fishing at 6 o'clock. He wanted to catch 4 or 5 fish. If he caught 4 or 5 fish, he could eat fresh fish all week. Fresh fish is the best fish. Mike went to bed. Linda wants to buy a new car. She has an old car. Her old car is a white Honda. Linda wants to buy a new Honda. She wants to buy a new red Honda. She has saved $1,000. She will use $1,000 to help buy the new car. She will give $1,000 to the Honda dealer. The Honda dealer will give her a contract to sign. The contract will require her to pay $400 a month for 7 years. Her new red Honda will cost Linda a lot of money. But that's okay because Linda makes a lot of money. Richard is a light eater. He doesn't eat much. He isn't a heavy eater. He eats a light breakfast, a light lunch, and a light dinner. Richard is not fat. He is thin. He will always be thin because he is a light eater. He eats a bowl of cereal for breakfast. He eats a bowl of cereal with milk. He eats a sandwich for lunch. Sometimes it's a fish sandwich. He likes fish. He eats rice and vegetables for dinner. All he eats for dinner is rice and vegetables. He will never get fat. Barbara likes funny stories. She likes to hear funny stories. She likes to tell funny stories. She told her mom a funny story. When she finished, she waited for her mom to laugh. "Mom, why aren't you laughing? That was a funny story," Barbara said. "Oh, I'm sorry," her mom said. "Sometimes you think something is funny, but someone else thinks it isn't funny." So Barbara's mom did not laugh at Barbara's story. Barbara told the same story to her younger sister. Her younger sister laughed at the story. Charles found a glass bottle. He found the glass bottle in his backyard. It was a pretty glass bottle. It was dark green. He looked inside the dark green bottle. He couldn't see anything. He shook the bottle. Something came out of the bottle. It landed on the ground. It was a bug. Charles picked up the bug. He looked at it. The bug looked at Charles. Charles put the bottle back on the ground. He put the bug on the ground next to the bottle. The bug crawled back into the bottle. Elizabeth washes her hands every day. She likes to wash her hands. She washes her hands with soap and water. She uses soap and water to wash her hands. She uses warm water and soap. She washes her hands for 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, she stops washing her hands. She turns off the water. She dries her hands on a clean towel. Every few hours, she turns on the water and washes her hands. Elizabeth has very clean hands. She does not have many germs on her hands. Germs cannot live on her clean hands. Joseph never opens the front door. When someone knocks on the front door, Joseph says, "Who is it?" But he does not open the door. His parents told him to keep the door closed. His parents want him to be safe. He will be safe if he doesn't open the door. Yesterday someone knocked on the front door. "Who is it?" Joseph asked. "It's the mailman," the person said. "I cannot open the door," Joseph said. "Okay, I will come back tomorrow," the mailman said. "Goodbye," Joseph said. Joseph is a good boy. He listens to his parents. He doesn't open the door for any person. Jennifer pulled the trash can out to the street. She pulled the trash can out to the street on Monday morning. Monday was trash day. The trash truck came to her house. The truck had a metal arm. The metal arm picked up the trash can. It raised the trash can into the sky. It emptied the trash can into the truck. Then the arm put the can back on the street. On Monday afternoon, Jennifer walked out to the street. The trash can was empty. She pulled the trash can back into her yard. Next Monday, she would pull it out to the street again. Thomas was not hot. He was not warm either. He was cold. The weather was not hot. The weather was not warm either. The weather was cold. Thomas did not like to be cold. He looked for his jacket. He found his jacket. He put on his jacket. But he was still cold. He looked at the windows. Were all the windows closed? Yes, they were. They were all closed. None of the windows were all closed. None of the windows were open. He looked at the door. The door wasn't open. It was closed. For a warmer jacket. He looked for a warmer jacket. Maria was learning to add numbers. She liked to add numbers. It was easy to add numbers. She could add 1 and 1. She knew that 1 and 1 are 2. She knew that 2 and 2 are 4. She knew that 3 and 3 are 6. But that was it. She didn't know what 4 and 4 are. She asked her mom. Her mom told her that 4 and 4 are 8. "Oh, now I know," Maria said. "I am 4 years old now. In 4 more years I will be 8. Maria was a fast learner. She wasn't a slow learner. Christopher wrote a letter to his sister. His sister lived in another city. His sister did not have a computer. Neither did he. His sister didn't like to use the phone. Neither did he. He wrote his sister a long letter. He told her the news in his life. He told her that he had a new job. He told her that he had a new girlfriend. He told her that he had a new car. He had lots of news for his sister. She would be happy to read his letter. Then she would send him a letter. Her letter would have lots of news too. Margaret was a small girl. She was a little girl. All her friends were taller than her. She was shorter than all her friends. She wanted to be tall. Her mom told her not to worry. One day Margaret would be tall. One day she would be taller than her friends. One day all her friends would be shorter than her. She was happy to hear that. She only had one question for her mom. When would she be taller than her friends? Would it be next year? She hoped it would be next year. She was tired of being the shortest girl. Daniel wanted to visit a farm. He asked his parents to take him to a farm. His teacher told him about the animals on a farm. There are lots of animals on a farm. Daniel wanted to see the animals. He wanted to see the cows. He wanted to see the chickens. He wanted to see the pigs. He wanted to pet the animals. He wanted to feed the animals. He loved animals. He wanted to live on a farm. He wanted to live with the animals. He wanted to live with cows and chickens and pigs. They would be his friends. He didn't have any friends in school. Dorothy will be 10 years old next month. She is excited. 10 years old is very old. She will not be a little kid anymore. A 9-year-old kid is just a little kid. A 10-year-old kid is almost an adult. 9 is only one number, but 10 is 2 numbers. 9 is a little kid number, but 10 is an adult number. When she is 10, she will be an adult almost. She will be a young woman. She will wear lipstick. She will wear nail polish. She will have a boyfriend. He will be handsome and polite. He will open doors for her. He will buy her birthday presents. Dorothy can't wait until next month. Paul has a red bicycle. He loves his red bicycle. He got the red bicycle for his 9th birthday. His parents gave him his bike when he was 9. He takes care of his bike. He puts air in both tires. He puts air in the front tire. He puts air in the rear tire. He puts oil on the bike chain. He wipes dirt off the bike with a damp rag. He puts water on the rag and wipes all the dirt away. He rides his bike everywhere. He rides it to school. He rides it to the library. He rides it to his friend's house. He really loves his bike. Lisa loves to go shopping. Tomorrow she is going shopping. She needs a new pair of shoes. She wants to buy a pair of red shoes. She thinks red shoes are pretty. She will buy a pair of shoes at the mall. Lisa usually shops at the mall. The mall is only a mile from her house. She just walks to the mall. It only takes her 20 minutes. Tomorrow she will go to 4 different shoe stores. Tomorrow is Saturday. The mall always has sales on Saturday. If the sale price is good, Lisa might buy 2 pairs of shoes. Mark bought a new car last week. He is happy with his new car. He got a good deal on his new car. It was on sale. His new car is green. The 4 tires are black. His new car has 4 doors. It has 1 trunk. The spare tire is in the trunk. All new cars have a spare tire. His new car has 1 hood. The engine is under the hood. All new cars have an engine. His new car has 2 big seats. 1 seat is in the front. 1 seat is in the back. Mark sits in the front seat when he drives his new car. He always buckles his seat belt. Karen is on the swim team. She is on the swim team at school. She is a good swimmer. All the swimmers on the swim team are good swimmers. She swims every day. She goes to the pool after her last class. Her last class is her English class. After English class, she walks over to the pool. She changes into her swimsuit. She dives into the water. She swims for 2 hours. Her coach watches her swim. He gives her advice. He tells her how to swim better. Her coach is her swim instructor. He is a good instructor. She will win a race one day. Donald plays the piano. He loves the piano. He has a big piano in his living room. His piano is shiny and black. It has 3 legs. He sits on a bench to play the piano. The bench has 4 legs. His piano has 88 keys. The keys are black and white. Donald has 10 fingers. His 10 fingers play music on the 88 piano keys. The piano also has 3 pedals. Donald uses his 2 feet on the 3 pedals. He uses both of his hands and both of his feet to play the piano. He also uses both of his eyes to play the piano. Betty's doctor told her to exercise more. So she began running. She enjoys running. She runs almost every day. She runs 2 miles a day. On the weekend she runs 5 miles. She runs up hills. She runs down hills. She runs in the street and on the sidewalk. She runs on trails. She runs in the heat and the cold. She runs on sunny days and rainy days. Betty will run in the marathon next week. Next week will be her first marathon. A marathon is 26 miles. She will run for 3 hours without stopping. She won't try to win the marathon. She will try to finish it. George is going to make a salad. He is going to make a simple salad. It will be a simple salad, but it will also be delicious. His salad will have only 2 ingredients. One ingredient is fresh cucumber. A cucumber is dark green and long. George will peel the skin off the cucumber. He will throw the skin in the trash. He won't eat the skin. He will slice the cucumber into little pieces. Each piece will be about the size of a nickel. He will put all the pieces into a big bowl. Then he will pour salad dressing on the pieces in the big bowl. That's it, a cucumber and salad dressing. Helen is unhappy with her mother. Her mother is unhappy with Helen. They are both unhappy with each other. Helen has a boyfriend. His name is Peter. Her mother doesn't like Peter. Her mother said that Peter is rude. Why did she say that? Because Peter didn't take his hat off in the house. Helen's mother says that is rude. A man should take his hat off in the house. Your father always took his hat off in the house, Helen's mother said. But Mom, times are different now, Helen said. I promise you, Peter will take his hat off next time. Helen's mother said it was too late. Rude is rude. Kenneth cleaned his apartment. He emptied the trash. He washed the dirty dishes. He looked in his bathroom. The sink and bathtub were dirty. He scrubbed the sink and bathtub. He looked in his bedroom. Clothes were on the floor. He picked up the clothes. He put the shirts on hangers. He folded the pants. He put the pants in the dresser. He washed the dirty clothes. He looked in his living room. Papers were on the floor. Books and newspapers and magazines were on the floor. He picked them all up. He put them on the bookshelves. Then he vacuumed his whole apartment. Sandra wrote a check to her gas company. On one line she wrote May 17th, 2009. On the next line she wrote the gas company. On another line she wrote $35.66. On another line she wrote 35 66/100ths. On another line she wrote monthly gas bill. On another line she signed her name. Then she put the check into an envelope. She also put the gas bill into the envelope. She licked the envelope and sealed it. She put her return address on the front of the envelope. She put a 44-cent stamp on the front of the envelope. She put the envelope in the mailbox. Stephen was hungry. What could he eat? He looked in the refrigerator. He saw some orange cheese. He saw some yellow butter. He knew what he would eat. He would eat a melted cheese sandwich. He took the cheese and butter out of the refrigerator. He buttered 2 slices of bread. He sliced the cheese and put it between the 2 buttered slices. He heated the frying pan. He put the cheese sandwich into the frying pan. After 3 minutes, he flipped the sandwich over. After 3 more minutes, he put the melted cheese sandwich on a plate. Donna loved her husband. Her husband loved Donna. They were in love with each other. She wanted to give him a birthday present. He was going to be 40 years old next week. She wondered what to give him. Should she give him a watch? Should she give him a sweater? Should she give him a new guitar? What should she give him? She asked him what he wanted for his birthday. He said he didn't want anything for his birthday. "Oh, you must want something," she said. "You're right," he said. "I want your love forever." It was time for bed. Edward was very tired. He turned off the TV. He turned off his computer. He turned off the dining room light. He went into the bathroom. He brushed his teeth. He went into the bedroom. He put on his pajamas. He got into bed. He put his head on the pillow. He pulled the blanket up to his shoulders. He thought about all the work he had done that day. He thought about all the work he had to do the next day. He closed his eyes. He thought about his vacation in 3 months. That would be so nice. Carol felt tired. She felt tired all the time. She didn't used to feel tired. She used to have a lot of energy. Why was she so tired all the time? "You should eat more sugar," her friend told her. "Sugar will give you energy." But Carol didn't want to eat more sugar. More sugar would give her more weight. She didn't want to put on weight. She wanted to have energy again. She finally decided to see a doctor. Her doctor told her that she had a thyroid problem. "What is a thyroid?" she asked her doctor. "It can make you feel very tired, but don't worry, I can fix it," he told her. Brian has a fast car. He drives his car fast. He never gets a ticket. His car is too fast for the police. They chase him, but they can't catch him. Brian always escapes from the police. The police want to catch him, but their cars are too slow. Brian's car is very fast. He likes to drive over 100 miles per hour. When he sees the police, he waves to the police. The police turn on their sirens. They turn on their red lights. They chase after Brian. Brian speeds up. He passes all the other cars on the road. He escapes from the police. Ruth is pregnant. She is expecting a baby. The baby is due in 2 months. The baby is a boy. It is her first boy. She already has a little girl. Her little girl is 2 years old. Ruth loves her little girl. Her little girl is happy to get a baby brother. Ruth is eating for 2 people right now. She is very careful about what she eats and drinks. She eats a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. She eats fresh fish twice a week. She doesn't drink alcohol or coffee. She doesn't eat candy or potato chips. She stays away from cigarette smokers. She will have a healthy baby. When does Ronald eat breakfast? He eats breakfast in the morning. What does he eat for breakfast? He eats ham and eggs. What does he drink for breakfast? He drinks coffee. Where does he eat breakfast? He eats breakfast at home. Who makes breakfast for Ronald? His wife makes breakfast for him. Why does Ronald eat breakfast? Because food gives him energy. What does he do after he eats breakfast? He brushes his teeth. What does he do after he brushes his teeth? He goes to work. Which bus does he take to work? He takes the city bus to work. Sharon jumped into the water at the swimming pool. She held her nose. She went under the water. Then she came back up. She swam to the ladder in the pool. She climbed out of the pool. She stood at the edge of the pool. She held her nose. She jumped in again. Sharon liked to jump into the pool. The water felt good. It was a hot day. The water was cool. The water felt so good. Sharon's mother had brought her to the pool. Her mother was sitting in a chair. She was watching Sharon. She wanted Sharon to have fun. Anthony went to the bookstore. He wanted to buy a book. He wanted to buy a book about bugs. He liked bugs. He picked up bugs in his yard. He took them to school. He showed the bugs to his teacher. His teacher told him the name of each bug. Then Anthony took the bugs home. He showed them to his parents. His mom told him to take the bugs out of the house. His dad liked to see the bugs. He said Anthony did a good job. He gave Anthony money to buy a book. So Anthony took the money to the bookstore. He looked for a book with lots of pictures of bugs. Michelle felt the earthquake. It lasted for only 5 seconds. The whole house shook. She heard noise. The TV went off. The lights went off. She was scared. She had never felt an earthquake. It was very strong. It was as if a giant hand had shaken her house. The lights came back on. Michelle turned the TV on. The TV had no news about the earthquake. She turned on the radio. The radio said it was a 4.7 earthquake. But there was no damage. No one was hurt. Everyone was okay. No houses had damage. Everything was okay. But Michelle was still scared. She wanted to move far away. She did not like earthquakes. They were so scary. Kevin wanted to lose weight. He was getting fat. His stomach was getting bigger. He was gaining weight. He was gaining 1 pound every week. He had to buy new pants. He didn't fit into his old pants. He couldn't see his feet anymore. When he looked down, all he could see was his big fat belly. He wanted his belly to disappear. How could he do that? How could he lose weight? What could he do? He talked to his wife. She told him to stop eating candy. She told him to stop eating cake. She told him to walk up and down the big hill every day. Kimberly was not happy. She was sad. She needed a job. She asked everyone for a job. Everyone told her no. No one had a job for her. She came home every day and cried. How could she live without a job? She had only $1,000. After she spent the $1,000, she would have no money. Then what would she do? She had nowhere to go. She had no friends. She had no family. She was all alone. She was very worried. She looked in the newspaper every day. She was ready to take any job. If someone gave her a job, she would be so happy. Jason looked at his watch. It was time for his favorite TV show. He turned on the TV. He sat down in his chair. But then he heard his dog. His dog was scratching at the door. Oh no, Jason thought. The dog wanted to go out. The dog had to go to the bathroom. If he lived in a house, he could let the dog go out the door and into the yard. But he lived in an apartment. He didn't have a yard. He had to take the dog for a walk. But if he took the dog for a walk, he would miss his favorite TV show. The dog scratched at the door again. Jason turned off the TV. Laura looked out the window. A storm was coming. The sky was getting darker. The wind was starting to blow. Some trees were bending. Leaves were flying through the air. It was getting cold. She closed all the windows. She went outside. Her car was in the street. She closed the windows in her car. She locked her car. She went back into her house. She turned on the TV. She wanted to see the news about the storm. The TV person said it was a big storm. He said it would rain a lot. He told people to stay home. Jeff sat down. He was in class. He was at school. He was in English class. He liked his English class. He liked his teacher. His teacher was friendly. His teacher helped all the students. His teacher answered everyone's questions. Jeff asked a new question every day. Yesterday he asked his teacher a spelling question. He asked his teacher how to spell myself. His teacher told him how to spell it. Jeff thanked his teacher. His teacher said, "You're welcome. Ask me anything, anytime. That's what I'm here for, to help you." Deborah was angry at her son. Her son didn't listen to her. Her son was 16 years old. Her son thought he knew everything. Her son yelled at Deborah. He told her he didn't have to do anything. He didn't have to listen to her. He didn't have to go to school. He didn't have to do his homework. He didn't have to study. He was 16. He could do anything he wanted to do. What could Deborah do? She wasn't married. She was divorced. She could not control her son. He would listen to his father, but his father was not there. His father lived in another city. Paula has cancer. She has 6 months to live. Her doctors cannot help her. No one can help her. She smoked cigarettes for 30 years. She did not want to stop smoking cigarettes. She liked to smoke cigarettes. The doctors told her to stop smoking many years ago. She didn't listen to them. She didn't listen to her parents. She didn't listen to her children. She didn't listen to her friends. Everyone told her to stop smoking. She told everyone to stop worrying about her. She would be fine, she told them. She still smokes every day. Why not? She asks. Randy went to the bank. He needed money from the bank. The bank has all of Randy's money. The bank keeps Randy's money safe. Randy cannot keep his money at home. Someone might steal his money. He can't hide his money in his backyard. A dog might find his money and eat it. He can't hide his money in a tree. A bird might fly away with his money. Some people hide their money under their bed. Some people hide their money in their refrigerator. But that is not safe. Someone will look under the bed or in the refrigerator. The best place for people to keep money is in the bank. Jackie loves the news. She listens to the news on the radio. She watches the news on TV. She reads the news in the newspaper. She reads the news in magazines. She loves the news because it is always new. It is always fresh. It is always interesting. There is news every day. There is news in every country. There is news in every state. There is news in every city. Everyone all over the world talks about the news every day. But Jackie has a question about the news. Why is the news usually bad? Why isn't the news usually good? No one knows the answer. Larry has the flu. His nose is running. He coughs a lot. He sneezes a lot. When he coughs, he covers his mouth. When he sneezes, he covers his mouth. When his nose is running, he wipes his nose with a tissue. Larry's mother is taking care of him. She makes hot soup for him. She gives him fresh orange juice. She makes him comfortable in his bed. She turns on the TV so he can watch TV in his bed. She turns out the light so he can sleep in his bed. She gives him medicine so he will get better. Larry will get better soon. Patty got a doll for Christmas. It is her favorite doll. It is a rag doll. It has a yellow dress. It has a blue blouse. The name of the doll is Molly. Molly has bright red hair. She has red lips. She has blue eyes. She has a pink ribbon in her hair. Molly is wearing red shoes. She's wearing white socks. Molly has a purse. Her purse is pink. The purse is empty. There is nothing in the purse. There was a little mirror in the purse, but Patty lost the mirror. When she lost the mirror, she said, "I'm sorry, Molly. I will get you another mirror." Danny looked at his brown shoes. They looked old and dirty. They needed a shine. It was time to shine his brown shoes. He got a rag. He got a shoe brush. He got a can of polish. He opened the can of polish. He put the rag around his finger. He scooped out a bit of polish with his finger. He rubbed the polish all over the left shoe. He brushed the left shoe. He brushed it and brushed it. The shoe began to shine. It looked like a new shoe. Then Danny put polish on the right shoe. He brushed the right shoe until it looked like a new shoe. Peggy went to church every Sunday. She loved to go to church. At church she was with her family and friends. At church she was with the saints. She was with the angels. And most of all, Peggy was with God. She always talked to God in church. She always asked God to stop war. She asked God to stop hate. She asked God to stop sickness. But war and hate and sickness did not stop. There were war and hate and sickness every day. "Mommy, Why doesn't God stop war and hate and sickness? Peggy asked. God will, her mom said, when more people ask. Dora wanted to buy a card for her mother. Her mother's birthday was next week. Dora loved her mom. She wanted to get a nice birthday card. She wanted a card that was pretty. She wanted a card that said the right thing. What was the right thing? The card must say, "I love you, Mom." It must say, "Mom, you are the best mother in the world." It must say, "I'm so happy that you are my mom." Those are all the right things for the card to say. But there was one more thing the card must say. It must say, "Happy birthday." Frank is not an old man. He is only 61 years old. But he is dying. He is in the home for old people. Nobody visits him. His wife doesn't visit him. She is already dead. She died 6 months ago. She died in the street. She was crossing the street. A car ran over her. Frank loves his wife. He got sick after she died. He never got better. The doctor says that nothing is wrong with Frank's body. The doctor says that Frank wants to die. The doctor is right. Frank does not want to live without his wife. Lois has a headache. The headache started 1 hour ago. She doesn't know why she has a headache. She never gets headaches. She never gets sick. Lois is a healthy woman. Where did her headache come from? Was it something she ate? Was it something she drank? She doesn't know. She wants her headache to go away. She does not like to take medicine, but her head hurts so much. She went into her bathroom. She opened the medicine cabinet. She found some aspirin. She took 2 aspirin with a glass of water. Maybe the aspirin will help her headache go away. Jerry has no job anymore. He has a little money, but he does not have enough money for rent. He cannot pay his rent. He has to move out of his apartment. He will move out next week. He will move into his car. He will put all his clothes into his car. He will put his pillows and blankets into his car. He will sleep in his car. He will look for another job. After next week, he will not be able to take a shower. He will have to use a public bathroom. He won't be able to drive his car. He won't have money for gas. Jerry needs help. Kathy finished her sandwich. She had a chicken sandwich for lunch. She got up from her chair. She took her plate to the kitchen sink. She put the plate in the sink. She turned on the cold water faucet. She rinsed the plate. She picked up a paper towel. She wiped the plate dry. She put the plate on the counter. Her mother walked into the room. "Did you wash that plate with soap?" she asked Kathy. Kathy said no. "I couldn't find the soap," she said. Her mom said, "What's this right next to the cold water faucet?" Kathy said, "Soap." Her mom told her to wash the plate again. Bruce picked up the cat. The cat meowed. The cat didn't like most people. The cat liked to be alone. It liked to sleep on the sofa. It liked to sleep in the fruit bowl. It liked to sleep on top of the TV. It liked to chase bugs in the front yard. It liked to chase lizards in the backyard. It liked to chase flies in the kitchen. Bruce put the cat on the floor. He rubbed the cat's stomach. The cat liked that. The cat licked his hand. Bruce rubbed the cat's stomach some more. The cat meowed. The cat was happy. Sharon was 5 years old. Her best friend was Pam. They played games together. They played all kinds of games. They had fun together. But one day Pam pushed Sharon. "Why did you push me?" Sharon asked. "Because," Pam said. Sharon told Pam not to push her again. So Pam pushed Sharon again. Sharon pushed Pam back. Then Pam pulled Sharon's hair. Then Sharon pulled Pam's hair. Both of them started crying. Sharon's mom came into the room. She told Pam to go home. Pam ran out of the house. "Sharon, you can't play with Pam anymore," Sharon's mother said. Andrew got down on his hands and knees. He put a dry sponge into the bucket. The bucket was full of soapy water. He squeezed the sponge. He scrubbed the kitchen floor. There were marks on the floor. There were spots on the floor. There was old food on the floor. He scrubbed the floor clean. Then he took the bucket into the bathroom. He poured the soapy water into the tub. The water went down the drain. He turned on the shower. He rinsed the tub. He turned the bucket over so it would dry. He washed his hands. Sally had a cold. Her nose was red. She pulled a tissue out of the tissue box. She blew her nose. She threw the tissue into the trash. She looked at her fingernails. Her fingernails were too long. She needed to cut her nails. She opened her purse. She took her nail clippers out of the purse. She clipped all the nails on her left hand. Then she clipped all the nails on her right hand. She looked at both of her hands. Now her nails were nice and short. She put her nail clipper back in her purse. She pulled another tissue out of the box. She blew her nose again. Andrew was in the 3rd grade. He loved his teacher. His teacher was young. She was pretty. She was friendly. She helped Andrew add numbers. She helped Andrew draw dogs and cats. She helped Andrew learn to spell. Andrew gave his teacher an apple one day. He gave her an orange another day. He gave her a peach another day. His teacher thanked him. "Thank you for the apple," she said the first day. "Thank you for the orange," she said the second day. "Thank you for the peach," she said the third day. Each day Andrew said, "You're very welcome." A farmer owns a lot of land. He grows food on that land. He grows the food from seeds. He plants seeds into the land. The seeds grow into corn. The seeds grow into wheat. The seeds need water. The seeds need sunlight. A farmer owns a tractor. He drives the tractor on his land. A farmer has many animals. He has pigs. He has cows. He has sheep. He has chickens. He has dogs and cats. He has rabbits. When it rains, the farmer goes into his house. The animals go into the barn. A farmer works hard. His animals don't work hard. They just eat and sleep. Jimmy dropped a piece of paper on the floor. He bent over and picked it up. He folded the piece of paper in two. He put it on the table. He picked up a pencil. He wrote a phone number on the piece of paper. He put the pencil on the table. He picked up the scissors. He picked up the piece of paper. He cut the paper in half. He put one half of the paper on the table. He put the other half with the phone number in his shirt pocket. He put the scissors on the table. Norma went to bed. It was 11 o'clock. She turned out the light. She lay in bed. It was dark. It was quiet. She couldn't sleep. She closed her eyes. She tried to sleep, but she couldn't. She turned the light back on. She opened her book. She started to read her book. It was a good book. She read one page. Then she read another page. After a while, she felt sleepy. She closed the book. She turned out the light. She closed her eyes. She went straight to sleep. Herman didn't like his first name. He had never liked it. He wanted to change it. He asked his mother. She said it was too late to change his name. She said he could use his middle name. She would call him by his middle name. She asked him if that was okay. Herman said yes. From now on, he said, please call me by my middle name. From now on, please call me Adam. His mother said that was no problem. Goodbye, Herman, she said, and hello, Adam. When Adam's father came home from work, Adam's mom said, "Guess what? We have a new son." Alice told her son Jesse to go to his room. He didn't want to go to his room. "Why do I have to go to my room?" he said. "You were a bad boy," she said. "You hit your sister." He said, "No, I didn't. She hit me first." Alice said, "But you shouldn't hit your sister even if she hits you first. She is younger than you are, and she's a little girl. Boys should never hit little girls." Jesse said, "Okay, I won't ever hit little girls again. Now do I have to go to my room?" Alice said yes, he still had to go to his room. "When she's a big girl, I'm going to hit her again," he said. Rodney's uncle is in jail. He went to jail because he was drunk. He was driving his car. He was going the wrong way on a one-way street. He almost hit 3 other cars. Someone called 911. A police car chased Rodney. The police car turned on its red light. The red light was bright. The police car turned on its siren. The siren was loud. Rodney did not pull over. He did not stop his car. Finally, he went off the road. He ran into a tree. He got out of his car. He was okay. His car was not okay. The policeman said, "You are drunk. I'm taking you to jail." Lucy went to the doctor. She didn't feel good. The doctor asked, "What's the problem? What's the matter?" She said she didn't feel right. "Do you hurt? Where do you hurt?" the doctor asked. She said that she hurt all over. She hurt everywhere. She hurt all over her body. The doctor said, "You have a big problem. I will fix your problem." The doctor gave Lucy a shot. He gave her a shot in her left arm. "Do you feel better now?" he asked. "No," she said. "Now my left arm hurts a lot." Brent was at the stoplight. His car radio was on. The music was very loud. Brent liked to listen to loud music in his car. A police car pulled up next to Brent. The policeman looked at Brent. He shouted, "Pull over to the side of the road." Brent said, "What?" The policeman said, "Pull over to the side of the road." Brent pulled over to the side of the road. The policeman said, "Do you know why I am giving you a ticket?" Brent said, "You are giving me a ticket? Why are you giving me a ticket?" The policeman said, "Because your radio is too loud." Emma went to the market. She needed to buy food. She needed brown eggs. She opened a carton of brown eggs. She looked at the eggs. None of them were cracked. None of them were broken. all the eggs were okay. She closed the carton. She put the carton of eggs in her shopping cart. She needed red apples. She looked at a bag of red apples. She looked for dark spots on the apples. She looked for wormholes in the apples. She didn't see any dark spots or wormholes. She put the bag of apples in her shopping cart. Jenna was at the airport. She was waiting for her plane. Her plane would leave at 7 p.m. It was only 2 p.m. She had time to eat. She had time to study. She went to the airport restaurant. The restaurant was on the 3rd floor. The restaurant was full. There were no empty seats. There were no empty tables. She didn't want to stand in line. She didn't want to wait. There was another restaurant in the airport. It was on the 1st floor. She went down to the 1st floor. That restaurant was almost empty. There were many seats and many tables. Fred had a red rubber ball. He kicked the ball. It flew through the air. He picked it up. He threw it against a wall. The ball came back to Fred. He kicked it with his foot again. The ball flew over the wall. He picked it up again. He bounced it on the street. The ball bounced up and down. Then it stopped bouncing up and down. It didn't move. Fred's dog barked at the ball. Fred kicked the ball. His dog ran after the ball. Louis got a new book. The book was about animals. Louis loved animals. The book had lots of pictures. It had pictures of dogs and cats. It had pictures of cows and pigs. It had pictures of chickens and rabbits. It had pictures of squirrels and birds. Louis looked at the pictures on the first page. Then he turned the page. He looked at the pictures on the second page. Then he turned the page again. The book had 30 pages in it. Louis looked at all the pictures on all the pages. Lulu's mom gave Lulu a pencil. It was a yellow pencil. It was a number 2 pencil. It had a pink eraser. The eraser was small and round and pink. Lulu's mom gave Lulu a piece of paper. It was a white piece of paper. There were blue lines on the white paper. Lulu wrote a letter to her grandma. Her letter said, "Dear Grandma, hello, I love you." Lulu told her mom she was done. Her mom looked at the letter. "This is a short letter," her mom said. Lulu said, "Yes, Mom, it is a short letter. It is short but sweet." William looked at his bowl of soup. It was chicken soup. There was white rice in the soup. William liked rice. There were pieces of chicken in the soup. William loved chicken. The pieces of chicken were white. They were small and square. They weren't big and round. There were pieces of orange carrots in the soup. William didn't like carrots. He picked up a piece of carrot with his fingers. He put it on the table next to his bowl. He took all the pieces of carrots out of the bowl. He put them all on the table. Then he ate his soup. Tracy looked at the flag. The flag is red, white, and blue. It has 50 white stars. The white stars are on a blue square. The flag has 6 white stripes. It has 7 red stripes. All the stripes are horizontal. They are not vertical. The stripes do not go up and down. They go from left to right. Tracy loves her flag. It is the flag of her country. It is a pretty flag. No other flag has 50 stars. No other flag has 13 stripes. Greg took the pen out of his pants pocket. He took his keys out of his pants pocket. He took his cell phone out of his pants pocket. He took his wallet out of his pants pocket. He put everything into a plastic tray. He took his shoes off. Greg was at the airport. He had to get on the airplane. But he had to pass through security first. He passed through security. He put his pen and keys back into his pocket. He put his cell phone and wallet back into his pocket. He put his shoes back on his feet. He got on the airplane. The baby birds sat in the nest. There were 2 baby birds. They were in the nest. The nest was in the tree. The baby birds were waiting for Mama Bird. They were hungry. When would Mama Bird be back? Then they saw Mama Bird. She landed on the nest. She had 2 worms in her mouth. She gave 1 worm to each baby bird. The worms were delicious. The baby birds ate the worms very fast. Then they opened their mouths. They wanted another worm. Mama Bird flew away. She went to get more worms. Susan likes to eat apples. She likes to eat big red apples. She likes to wear a blue hat. She wears a big blue hat on her head. She wears a hat and eats an apple. She drinks some water from a white cup. Susan drinks water and eats apples. She doesn't cut the apple with a knife. A knife is sharp. She just eats the apple. She holds the apple in her hand. She bites into the apple with her teeth. She licks her lips. She drinks more water. She wipes her mouth with her hand. Faye went into the bathroom. She turned on the cold water. She turned on the hot water. Warm water came out of the faucet. She put her hands under the warm water. She rubbed her hands together. She picked up a bar of white soap. She rubbed the soap with her hands. She put the soap back. She washed her hands for half a minute. Then she rinsed her hands with the water. She turned off the hot water. She turned off the cold water. She dried her hands with a towel. Sandra picked up the bag of peanuts. It was a bag of roasted peanuts. She opened the bag. She poured out some roasted peanuts onto the table. There were about 8 peanuts on the table. The peanuts were still in their shells. Each peanut was in its shell. Sandra picked up a peanut. She held it in her hands. She put her thumbs on the peanut. She broke the shell open with her thumbs. Sandra opened the shell. Inside the shell were 2 little red peanuts. Each peanut had red skin on it. Thin red skin covered both little peanuts. She took a little red peanut out of the shell. Sandra ate the little peanut with the red skin on it. Jim had 2 separate sheets of paper. He wanted to put the 2 sheets of paper together. He did not want to glue them together. He did not want to use glue. He did not want to staple them together. He did not want to use a staple. What did Jim want to use? He wanted to use a paper clip. He wanted to put the 2 sheets of paper together with a paper clip. He picked up a paper clip. It was a metal paper clip. It was a silver paper clip. Jim put the silver metal paper clip on both sheets of paper. Now the sheets of paper were together. They were not separate. Pat looked at the washer. The washer had dials on it. It had 2 dials on it. There were words next to each dial. Each dial had 3 words next to it. The words next to one dial were small, medium, and large. This dial was for the size of the load. Did Pat have a small load, a medium load, or a large load? The words next to the other dial were cold, warm, and hot. Did Pat want to wash her clothes in cold water? To wash her clothes in cold water, warm water, or hot water? Pat turned one dial to large and the other dial to hot. Then she start button on the washer. Bob pushed the button on the door handle. He pulled on the door handle. He opened the car door. He got into the car. He sat down. He sat down in the driver's seat. He sat down behind the steering wheel. Bob put the seat belt on. He buckled the seat belt. The seat belt went across his chest. The seat belt went across his lap. The seat belt kept him safe. He put his car key into the ignition. The ignition was next to the steering wheel. The ignition starts a car. Bob turned the car key in the ignition. The car started. Helen turned on her flashlight. Nothing happened. The light did not come on. There was no light. What was wrong with her flashlight? She unscrewed the top of the plastic flashlight. Helen took the 2 batteries out of the plastic tube. She looked at the 2 batteries. They were D batteries. They looked okay. They did not look bad. But maybe they were dead batteries. She opened a package of new batteries. She put 2 new D batteries into the plastic tube. Helen screwed the top back onto the plastic flashlight. She turned on her flashlight. The light worked. Liz looked at the round plastic container. The plastic container was empty. There was no milk in the container. Liz wanted to drink some milk, but she was out of milk. She needed to make more milk. She opened the cabinet. She grabbed a box of powdered milk. She opened the box. She took the lid off the round plastic container. Liz poured some powder into the container. She filled up the container with cold water. She put the lid back on the container. Liz shook the container hard. She shook it and shook it. She poured some cold milk into a glass. She drank the cold milk in the glass. Mike washed his hands. He washed his hands with soap and water. He brushed his teeth. He brushed his teeth with toothpaste and water. He turned off the water. The sink was full of water. The water did not go down the drain. The water stayed in the sink. What was the matter? Why didn't the water go down the drain? Mike waited and waited. The water didn't go anywhere. It sat in the sink. Mike opened a bottle of liquid drain opener. He poured the drain opener into the sink. Mike waited 1 minute. Then all the water went down the drain. Bill stole a wheelchair. The wheelchair did not belong to him. It belonged to someone else. The wheelchair belonged to Jenny. Jenny could not walk very far. She got tired very fast. It was her wheelchair. Jenny was inside her house. Her wheelchair was on the front porch. Bill saw the wheelchair on the front porch. He looked around. Nobody was around. He walked up to the front porch. Bill grabbed the wheelchair. He pushed it in front of him. He pushed the wheelchair to his home. Bill pushed the wheelchair into his home. "Look, Grandma," he said, "I brought you a new wheelchair." Margaret made a fresh salad. She peeled a yellow banana. She peeled a red apple. She peeled a green cucumber. She peeled an orange carrot. She peeled a brown potato. She peeled a white onion. She peeled a white egg. She chopped everything up with a sharp knife. She chopped everything into little pieces. She used her sharp knife to chop up the banana, apple, cucumber, carrot, potato, onion, and egg. She chopped up a tomato. She put all the little pieces into a bowl. She opened a bottle of salad dressing. She poured salad dressing on her fresh salad. Don has cancer. He is 12 years old, but he is lucky. The doctor knows how to fix Don's cancer. The doctor told Don's mom to bring him to the hospital. Don's mom said no. She will let God fix Don's cancer. God will fix Don's cancer. She does not trust the doctor. She doesn't trust the hospital. She only trusts God. The doctor said Don will die. He said Don must come to the hospital. Don's mom ran away. She ran away with Don. The police are looking for Don and his mom. They want to save Don's life. Only the doctor can save Don's life. Maria is 18. She will go to college in September. She will be a college student in September. But right now it is summertime. It is June. Maria needs a job. She needs money for college. She needs money to buy books for college. She wants a job. Maria went to a restaurant. "Can I have a job?" she asked. The restaurant manager said, "I'm sorry, I don't need anyone right now." Maria went to a bookstore. "Will you give me a job?" she asked. The bookstore manager said, "I'm sorry, I don't need new workers right now." Tom was bored. He didn't have anything to do. He wasn't interested in doing anything. He didn't want to watch TV. Tom didn't want to listen to the radio. He didn't want to play sports. He didn't want to use the computer. He didn't want to read books. "I'm bored," Tom said. "What can I do? I want to do something interesting." Tom's father had an idea. "I have an idea," his father said. "Why don't you collect coins? Coins are fun to collect, and coins are everywhere. You see coins every day. Some coins are valuable. They will make you rich." Ed looked at the kitchen floor. The kitchen floor was dirty. There were little pieces of food on the floor. Ed saw breadcrumbs. He saw cracker crumbs. He saw cheese crumbs. He saw little pieces of bread. He saw little pieces of cracker. He saw little pieces of cheese. He needed to sweep the floor. Ed didn't want bugs in his kitchen. Bugs like to eat little pieces of food. He took the broom out of the kitchen closet. He took the dustpan out of the kitchen closet. Ed swept the floor. He swept all the pieces of food into the dustpan. The ball is on the floor. It is a red ball. It is a rubber ball. The baby looks at the ball. The cat looks at the ball. The cat is black. The cat walks over to the ball. The cat hits the ball with its paw. The ball rolls on the floor. The baby smiles. The window is open. Air comes through the window. It is warm air. It is a warm day. The air smells like bread. It smells like fresh bread. It smells good. It makes the boy hungry. The boy goes to the kitchen. He makes a sandwich. He sits down. He eats the sandwich. The boy puts on his socks. He puts on his shoes. He ties his shoelaces. He walks to the front door. He turns the doorknob. He pulls the door open. He steps outside. He closes the door behind him. He walks to the corner. He sees his friend. He waves to his friend. The dog barks. It likes to bark. The bird sings. It likes to sing. The dog and bird are noisy. The cat meows. It meows when it is hungry. It meows when it is angry. The fish says nothing. The turtle says nothing. The mouse says nothing. The lizard says nothing. They are quiet. Bob picks up the ball. He throws the ball. Bill catches the ball. Bill throws the ball back. Bob catches the ball. Bob throws the ball to Bill. Bill drops the ball. Bill picks it up. He throws it over Bob's head. Bob runs back. He jumps up. He catches the ball. She takes a cookie out of the package. She drops the cookie. It falls on the floor. The cookie breaks. It breaks into 4 pieces. 4 pieces are on the floor. She picks up the pieces. She takes them to the kitchen. She throws them into the trash can. She takes another cookie out of the package. The cat licks its paws. The cat licks its belly. The dog licks its paws. The dog licks its belly. The cat lies in the grass. The dog lies in the grass. The cat rolls onto its back. The dog rolls onto its back. The cat and dog do things together. He opens the refrigerator. He looks inside the refrigerator. He is hungry. He wants something to eat. He sees a package. It is a package of hot dogs. 6 hot dogs are in the package. He takes 2 hot dogs out of the package. He closes the refrigerator. He puts the hot dogs on a plate. She picks up the book. It is her favorite book. It has a red cover. It has 52 pages. It has many pictures. It has pictures of many animals. She likes animals. She has 2 cats. She likes her cats. Their names are Fluffy and Muffy. She shows them the pictures in the book. He has a job. He is a teacher. He teaches kids. He teaches them how to read. He teaches them how to spell. The kids are fast learners. They learn how to read quickly. They learn how to spell quickly. He likes his job. He likes kids. He likes to teach kids new things. The house is on fire. Flames come out of the windows. Smoke comes out of the windows. A man runs out of the house. He carries a baby in his arms. A woman runs out of the house. She carries a baby in her arms. A fire truck arrives at the house. She is 6 years old. She knows how to walk. She knows how to run. She knows how to swim. She knows how to play soccer. She knows how to ride a horse. She knows how to walk her dog. She knows how to read. She knows how to write. The baby crawls on the floor. It stops. Then it crawls some more. Then it stops again. Mama looks at the baby. She picks up the baby. She carries the baby to the crib. She puts the baby in the crib. She puts a blanket on the baby. The baby falls asleep. He picks up the candy bar. He reads the label. The label says Baby Ruth. He unwraps the candy bar. He throws the wrapper into the trash can. He bites into the candy bar. He chews it. He swallows it. He bites into the candy bar again. It is delicious. He loves candy bars. It is time to go to school. He puts his books into his backpack. He puts his arms through the straps. He puts his backpack on his back. He walks outside. He goes to the bus stop. He stands at the bus stop. He waits for the bus. He sees the bus.
The boy hears a sound. He looks up. He sees an airplane. The airplane is in the sky. It is a silver airplane. It has 2 wings. It has a tail. It has 2 jet engines. There is a pilot on the airplane. He flies the airplane. He lands the airplane. She loves Disneyland. She wants to live at Disneyland. She wants to visit Disneyland every day. Her parents take her to Disneyland every year. She has fun at Disneyland. She sees Mickey Mouse. She goes on many rides. She has fun on the rides. She wants to ride them again and again. He gets on the roller coaster. His mom sits next to him. This is his first roller coaster ride. The roller coaster starts up. It is fast. It goes up and down. It goes around and around. He looks at his mom. His mom looks at him. They both laugh. The roller coaster is fun. It is her birthday. She is 6 years old. She looks at the birthday cake. It has white icing. There are 6 candles on top. Her mom and dad sing happy birthday. Her dad lights the candles. She makes a wish. She blows out the candles. She claps her hands. Her mom and dad clap their hands. He fills the tub. He fills it with warm water. He gets in the tub. He plays with his rubber boat. The rubber boat floats on the water. He pushes the boat down. He pushes it to the bottom. He lets it go. It pops up to the top. It floats on top of the water. Sharon is 4 years old. She is pretty. She has a doll. It is pretty. Sharon has blonde hair. The doll has blonde hair. Sharon has short hair. The doll has long hair. Sharon gets a pair of scissors. She cuts the doll's long hair. She finishes. Now the doll has short hair too. He picks up his fork. He picks up his spoon. He hits the plate with his fork. He hits the plate with his spoon. His mom says stop. He stops. His mom puts a carrot on the plate. He looks at the carrot. He picks up the spoon. He hits the carrot with the spoon. The worm crawls on the ground. It crawls slowly. She watches it. She picks it up. It wiggles in her hand. She puts it in her mouth. It wiggles in her mouth. She takes it out of her mouth. She puts it back on the ground. It crawls into a hole. The phone rings. He hears the ringing. He picks up the phone. He says hello. The other person says hello. The other person is his mom. She talks to him. He talks to her. She finishes talking. She says goodbye. He says goodbye. They hang up. He waits. The phone rings again. She sits in the car. Her dad drives the car. He drives to a car wash. The car goes through the car wash. Water sprays onto the car. Soap sprays onto the car. Soft brushes scrub the car. More water sprays onto the car. The car is clean. Men dry the car with clean rags. The car is dry. She goes to the zoo. There are many animals at the zoo. She likes the monkeys. They have funny faces. They have long tails. They jump around a lot. She goes to the monkey cage. There are 6 monkeys in the cage. She looks at them. She waves to them. She says hello to them. He loves chocolate. He loves milk chocolate. He loves dark chocolate. He eats chocolate candy bars. He eats chocolate fudge. He eats chocolate chip cookies. He eats chocolate cake. He eats chocolate cupcakes. He eats chocolate ice cream. He eats chocolate pudding. He drinks chocolate milk. He eats chocolate every day. Chocolate is the best. She loves the circus. The circus has elephants. Elephants are so big. The circus has tigers. Tigers are so pretty. The circus has clowns. Clowns are funny. They drive funny cars. They wear funny costumes. They have funny faces. They make her laugh. The circus is in town this week. She tells her dad and her mom. The moon is in the sky. He looks at the moon. It is round and white. It is bright. It has mountains. It has valleys. It has rocks. It has dirt. He thinks about the moon. He wonders about it. Maybe there is water on the moon. Maybe tiny animals live on the moon. She collects pennies. She likes pennies. She likes their color. They are brown. They are shiny brown. They are dull brown. Pennies are everywhere. She finds them on the sidewalk. She picks them up. She takes them home. She puts them in a jar. She has a big jar. It is full of pennies. He likes to color. He colors with his crayons. His crayon box has many crayons. Each crayon is a different color. He opens his coloring book. His favorite color is red. He colors the trees dark red. He colors the cats light red. He colors the sidewalks medium red. His mom buys extra red crayons for him. She opens the newspaper. She turns the page. She turns another page. She finds the comics. She likes the comics. They are fun to read. They are easy to read. They are pictures with words. The pictures are pretty. Sometimes they are in color. She looks at the pictures. She reads the words. It is nighttime. The sky is black. There are tiny lights in the sky. They are stars. There are many stars. She looks all over the sky. She sees stars everywhere. A few stars are big. Most stars are small. She counts the stars. She counts 86 stars. She tells her mom. It is summertime. The park has many trees. It has a baseball field. It has a water fountain. The water is cool. Kids play in the water fountain. Their feet get wet. Their clothes get wet. They sit down in the fountain. They run around in the fountain. They splash in the fountain. They have fun. She has 2 cats. One cat is black. The other cat is white. The black cat's name is Blackie. The white cat's name is Whitey. She feeds her cats. She puts their food in dishes. She puts each dish on the floor. She calls her cats. They come into the kitchen. They eat the food. It is a winter day. It is cold outside. The snow falls. It covers the ground. Snow falls for 6 hours. Finally it stops. He puts on his heavy jacket. He goes outside. He builds a snowman. It is a fat snowman. It is a tall snowman. He goes back inside. She is a good swimmer. Her school has a swim team. She is on the swim team. She practices every day. She swims in the pool every day. She swims 2 hours every day. She is a strong swimmer. She wins races. She wants to swim in the Olympics. She wants to swim for her country. She looks at her skateboard. It is almost 3 feet long. It has 4 plastic wheels. It is about 6 inches wide. She loves her skateboard. It takes her everywhere. It takes her to school. It takes her to dance class. It takes her to her friend's house. It takes her home. He gets an allowance. He gets $5 a week. His dad gives it to him. His dad gives $5 to him every Friday. He spends his allowance every weekend. He usually spends it on Friday night. He spends it at the mall. He spends it on ice cream. He buys 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. She plays basketball. She plays basketball almost every day. There is a basketball court in the park. The park is near her house. She goes to the park after school. She plays with the boys. She is a good player. She makes a lot of shots. She scores a lot of points. Babies cry. Babies smile. Babies drool. They look at everything. They look at everyone. They kick their feet in the air. They make fists with their hands. Babies are curious. They put everything into their mouths. They ride around in baby strollers. They get a lot of attention. They have an easy life. He looks at his bicycle. It is an old bike. It is 3 years old. The paint is scratched. The fenders are dented. The seat is torn. The chain is rusty. But it is a good bike. He has a good time on his bike. It is fun to ride. He rides it almost every day. She watches the ants. They are very small. There are very many of them. They are in the kitchen sink. They are thirsty. They drink the drops of water. The drops are on the bottom of the sink. She turns on the faucet. Water flows into the sink. The ants go down the drain. He builds a house. He uses popsicle sticks. He uses glue. He glues one stick to another. He builds a kitchen. He builds a living room. He builds a bedroom. He builds a bathroom. He builds a garage. He adds a roof. He paints the house white. He shows the house to his dad. She has a dog. Her dog is a boxer. It is a male. His name is Duke. He is 5 years old. He is brown all over. He has a short tail. He weighs about 50 pounds. He snores when he sleeps. She feeds him twice a day. She feeds him breakfast. She feeds him dinner. Billy plays catch with a baseball and a baseball glove. He plays catch with his friend. His friend has a glove too. Billy throws the ball to his friend. His friend catches the ball in his glove. His friend throws the ball back to Billy. Billy catches the ball in his glove. The ball goes back and forth. It is early afternoon. She looks out the window. She sees the snow. The snow falls from the sky. There are many snowflakes. They fall fast. They hit the ground. They melt on the ground. She is unhappy. She wants to make a snowman, but there is no snow on the ground. He sees a butterfly. It is near a flower. It leaves the flower. It goes to another flower. He watches the butterfly. It is pretty. It has orange and black wings. It has little white spots on the wings. Its wings are thin. He tries to grab the butterfly, but it flies away. She goes camping. She camps in the woods. She camps with her family. They set up a tent. It is a big tent. It sleeps 3 people. She sleeps with her mom and dad in the tent. They sit around a campfire at night. The campfire keeps them warm. They cook food in the campfire. A carousel has big plastic horses. Each horse is a different color. She likes the white horse. She gets on the white horse. It has a black tail. She sits in the saddle. She holds on to the pole. The music starts. The carousel starts. It goes round and round. Her horse goes up. There is a race today. He puts on his shorts. He puts on his sneakers. He goes to the track. It is a 1-mile race. Other boys show up at the starting line. The race starts. All the boys run fast. They run around the track 4 times. The race ends. He comes in 3rd place. He plays war with his plastic soldiers. The good soldiers attack the bad soldiers. The good soldiers have big tanks. They have fast jeeps. They have big guns. They shoot at the bad soldiers. The good soldiers march forward. The bad soldiers march backward. The good soldiers win the war. The bad soldiers lose the war. She goes to dance school. She wears special shoes. She stands in front of a mirror. It is a big mirror. It goes from one wall to the other. She holds on to a bar. She stretches her leg. She stretches the other leg. She points her toes. She bends over. She touches her toes. Andy's uncle is a farmer. Andy goes to the farm. He milks the cow. He feeds the pig. It is always hungry. He collects the eggs. The chickens lay many eggs. He finishes his 3 jobs. He says goodbye to his uncle. His uncle thanks him. He gives Andy 2 dozen eggs. She dresses up. She dresses like her mom. She puts lipstick on her lips. She puts a necklace around her neck. She puts a pretty hat on her head. She puts high heels on her feet. She sprays perfume on her neck. She looks in the mirror. She sees a little woman. He has a little fire truck. It is a red plastic fire truck. He sees a fire. He calls 911. A house is on fire. Please hurry. He pushes the fire truck. The fire truck goes to the house. The fire truck sprays water on the house. The fire is out. Everyone is safe. She worries a lot. She worries about polar bears. They are big white bears. They live in the north. They need snow. They need ice. They need cold weather. There is too much pollution. Pollution heats up the earth. Heat melts the ice. The ice is the polar bear's home. No ice means no home. He has a fishing rod. He fishes with his dad. They drive to a lake. There are fish in the lake. His dad gives him a worm. He puts the worm on a hook. The worm wiggles. He drops the worm into the lake. A fish sees the worm. The fish bites the worm. She plays soccer. She has a uniform. She wears her uniform every Saturday. Her team plays every Saturday. Her team wins sometimes. Her team loses sometimes. She is the goalie. She stands in front of the goal. She blocks shots. Sometimes she misses. Then the other team scores. That makes her unhappy. Frogs are outside his house. They are quiet in the daytime. They are noisy at night. It is nighttime. The frogs are singing. He grabs a flashlight. He goes outside. He shines the light on a frog. It hops. He picks it up. It is soft and wet. It kicks its legs. He puts it down. A turtle is a funny animal. It carries its home on its back. It never stops at a hotel. It never rents an apartment. It never buys a house. A turtle is a homeowner. It is always next to its home. It is never far from its home. Home is always on its back. It is her birthday. She gets a doll for her birthday. The doll is in a box. She takes the pink ribbon off the box. She takes the white wrapper off the box. She takes the doll out of the box. The doll is pretty. It has white hair. It has a pink dress. It has red shoes. He looks at the tree. The wind blows the leaves. A squirrel runs up the tree. He looks at the street. A woman parks her car. She gets out of her car. He looks at the sky. He looks at the clouds in the sky. They are big clouds. They are dark clouds. It looks like rain. Her grandma is short and fat. Her grandpa is tall and thin. They are both old. They have white hair. They smell funny. They always hug her. They always kiss her. They always bring her gifts. They always bring her chocolates. They always visit for a few days. They are nice to her. She loves them. Monopoly is a popular board game. He plays Monopoly with his friends. There are 2 dice. They throw the dice. They move their tokens around the board. He always uses the car token. His best friend always uses the horse token. They all have fun. They play after school. They play on the weekend. She is busy after school. She comes home after school. She does her homework. She takes the dog for a walk. She feeds the dog. She eats dinner. She clears the table. She brushes her teeth. She watches TV. She watches for 2 hours only. Her parents allow her only 2 hours. She goes to bed. He has 2 baseball caps. One says New York Yankees. The other says New York Mets. He has a golf cap. It says Silver Lake Golf Club. He has a football cap. It says New York Giants. He has a ski cap. It says Song Mountain. He wears his caps to baseball and football games. He wears them after school. She does handstands. She does cartwheels. She does flips. She does back flips and front flips. She does somersaults. She trains every day. She is a gymnast. She practices for the Olympics. The Olympics take place every 4 years. She practices her handstands and cartwheels. She practices her flips and somersaults. Practice makes perfect. She plays hide and seek. She plays with her brothers and sisters. She plays with her friends. They play after school. They play outdoors. One person is it. He or she closes his or her eyes. He or she counts to 100. The other players hide somewhere nearby. Then the it person tries to find the others. A magician is cool. He makes things disappear. He makes them reappear. He changes things into other things. He changes a bunny into a scarf. He changes a scarf into a bird. He gives you a deck of cards. You secretly pick a card. He knows which card. He knows so many cool tricks. She likes pony rides. She goes to the corral. She picks out a pony. She gives a carrot to the pony. She gets up on the pony. She sits in the saddle. She pats the pony's head. She pats the pony's neck. The pony walks around the corral. She holds on to the reins. She enjoys the ride. He likes the rain. Rain makes puddles. He likes puddles. He jumps into puddles. He jumps across puddles. He slides on his back in puddles. He sits in puddles. He gets wet in puddles. His shoes get wet. His clothes get wet. He gets dirty. His clothes get dirty. He goes home. His mom yells at him. He waits for the school bus. He sees the yellow bus. It stops in front of him. The door opens. He climbs up the steps. He says hello to the driver. The driver says good morning. He walks to the back of the bus. He sits next to the window. The bus starts. He looks out the window. The teacher asks a question. She raises her hand. Other students raise their hands. The teacher calls on her. She answers the question. The teacher says she is correct. She feels good. She smiles. She knows most of the answers. She does her homework at night. She knows the answers for the next day. She reads the math problem. John has 3 apples. He gives 1 apple to Mary. He gives another apple to Billy. How many apples does John have? She thinks 3 apples minus 2 apples is 1 apple. John has 1 apple. The answer is 1. She shows her answer to the teacher. Her teacher smiles. She says her prayers. She gets into bed. She turns out the light. She hears a noise. She turns on the light. She looks around her room. Everything looks okay. She turns out the light. She hears the noise again. She turns on the light. She looks around. She is scared. She calls her dad. He takes the dog for a walk. He picks up a stick. He throws the stick. The dog chases the stick. It brings back the stick. It gives him the stick. He throws it again. The dog brings the stick back. The dog walks over to a tree. It pees on the tree. He takes the dog home. The man delivers the pizza. Her dad pays the man. He gives the man a tip. The man leaves. Dad takes the pizza to the living room. He puts it on the coffee table. He opens the box. Everybody grabs a slice of pizza. Her dad bites into his pizza. He burns the roof of his mouth. Ouch! The puzzle has 200 pieces. It is a puzzle of a farm. There are animals on the farm. There are buildings on the farm. There are white clouds and a blue sky. There is a bright sun. He sees a yellow piece. It is part of the sun. He sees a blue piece. It is part of the sky. They go to the park. They like the park. The park has a playground. The playground has a slide. They slide down the slide. The playground has a sandbox. They play in the sand. The playground has a seesaw. They go up and down on the seesaw. The playground has swings. They swing on the swings. He climbs a tree. He climbs from limb to limb. He climbs higher and higher. The ground gets farther away. The top of the tree gets closer. He sees a squirrel. It barks at him. He looks down at the people on the ground. His mother looks up in the tree. "Get down here right now." The book is on the nightstand. She gets into bed. She picks up the book. She opens the book. She reads 10 pages. She likes the story. She turns to page 11. Her dad comes in. He says good night. She kisses her dad. She closes the book. She turns off the lamp. She goes to sleep. The ocean is blue. The ocean is big. There are many fish in the ocean. There are big fish. There are small fish. There are fast fish and slow fish. The big fish eat the small fish. The fast fish eat the slow fish. The fishermen catch all the fish. The people eat all the fish. She has a baby brother. She loves him. She talks to him every day. She pushes him in the stroller. She changes his diapers. She feeds him his bottle. She burps him. She puts him in the high chair. She feeds him dinner. She wipes the food off his mouth. She is a good sister. It is movie time. He puts on his 3D glasses. The movie begins. The car comes right at him. He yells. The car gets so close to him. It looks so real. With 3D glasses, he enjoys the whole movie. 3D is just like real life. It is even better than real life. It is more exciting. She grabs a sharp knife. She holds the orange. She cuts the skin of the orange. She cuts the skin in 4 equal sections. She peels the skin off the orange with her fingers. She throws the skin in the trash. She separates the orange into sections. She eats the sections one by one. They are sweet and juicy. She dreams at night. She dreams while she sleeps. She dreams about many things. She dreams about her parents. She dreams about school. She dreams about her friends. She dreams about her dog and cat. She dreams about the future. She dreams about the past. She dreams about monsters. Those dreams wake her up. He asks a question. The teacher rolls his eyes. The teacher yells loudly at him. The teacher hurts his feelings. The teacher is mean. The teacher has bad manners. He hates the teacher. He asks no more questions. He drops out of the class. He never forgets that teacher. That teacher is his worst teacher ever. She calls her mom. Her mom is sick. She has the flu. She is in bed. She is old. She is alone. Her husband is dead. Nobody takes care of her. She does her own shopping. She drives her own car. She says that she is okay. She says she feels better. She thanks her daughter for calling. He is a bully. He picks on other kids. He picks on smaller kids. He pushes them. He trips them. He punches them. He calls them names. He takes their money. He takes their lunches. He is mean. Everyone is afraid of him. 5 students tell the principal about the bully. The principal kicks the bully out of school. Summer vacation starts this afternoon. It starts at 3 o'clock. She is so happy. She looks at the clock. It is almost 3 o'clock. She is ready for a summer of fun. She is ready for fun at the beach. She looks at the clock again. In only 5 minutes, she goes home until September. Kids love a good story. A good story has a problem. A good story has a hero. The hero is a girl or a boy. Sometimes the hero is an animal. The hero is brave. The hero looks danger in the eye. The hero saves others from danger. The hero solves the problem. The story has a happy ending. His left foot is on the pedal. His right foot is on the ground. He pushes down on the pedal. He takes his right foot off the ground. He puts it on the pedal. The pedals start to go around. They go around in a circle. His knees go up and down. The bicycle rolls forward. He wears glasses. Some kids at school call him Four Eyes. He feels bad. He takes his glasses off. But it is hard to read. He puts the glasses back on. Now he sees the words in his books. Now he sees the words on the blackboard. He keeps his glasses on. He ignores those kids. She puts on her swimsuit. She walks to the swimming pool. It is a hot day. The sky is blue. There are a few white clouds in the sky. She gets to the pool. She looks at the water. It is blue. It is cool. She jumps into the water. It feels so good. He puts on his glasses. He needs his glasses to read. He opens a book. He reads the first page. The phone rings. He picks up the phone. It is his wife. He talks with his wife. Then she says goodbye. He says goodbye. He puts down the phone. He picks up the book. He feels an itch. The itch is on his arm. He scratches his arm. The itch goes away. He feels another itch. The itch is on his leg. He scratches his leg. The itch goes away. He feels another itch. The itch is on his foot. He scratches his foot. The itch goes away. She walks into the store. She looks at the dresses. There are many dresses. She wants a blue dress. She sees a blue dress. She takes it to the dressing room. She tries the blue dress on. It fits. She likes it. She takes it off. She takes it to the cashier. She buys it. He has a cold. He coughs. He sneezes. He grabs a tissue. He blows his nose. He grabs another tissue. He blows his nose again. He puts nose drops into his nose. He puts a cough drop in his mouth. He drinks cough syrup. He takes cough medicine. He feels better. It is early morning. He is asleep. The alarm goes off. He hears the alarm. He wakes up. He turns off the alarm. He goes back to sleep. He sleeps for 15 minutes. Then he wakes up. He sits up. He stretches. He yawns. He gets out of bed. He walks to the bathroom. There are boxes on the floor. She opens a box. There are books in the box. She takes out the books. She puts the books on the bookshelf. She opens another box. There are plates in the box. She takes out the plates. She puts them in the kitchen cabinet. He stands on the corner. He sells purses. He says, $10 over and over. Many women stop. They look at all the purses. They pick up the purses. They look inside the purses. They put the purses on their shoulders. Many women buy a purse. Some women buy 2 purses. She is in her pajamas. She lies down. She puts her head on the pillow. She moves the pillow around a little bit. It is more comfortable now. The lamp is still on. She turns off the lamp. Her bedroom is dark. She puts her head back on the pillow. She goes to sleep. She opens the envelope. She reads the letter. The letter is from her cousin. Her cousin is in Europe. Her cousin likes Europe. She finishes the letter. She writes a letter to her cousin. She tells her cousin all the latest news at home. She thanks her cousin for the letter. She is a model. She walks up and down the runway. She models clothes. She models expensive clothes. Famous designers design her clothes. The clothes look good on her. People watch her model clothes. People spend lots of money on the clothes. People buy the clothes. She never buys the clothes. She just wears them. The baby cries. She looks at it. She talks to it. The baby cries some more. She picks it up. She holds it. She pats the baby on the back. The baby burps. She puts the baby down. She looks at it. The baby looks at her. It smiles at her. He has a secret. He keeps his secret. He shares it with nobody. He tells it to nobody. A secret is a secret. He loves his teacher. That is his secret. His teacher is beautiful. She is smart. She likes him too. She gives him A's on his homework. She gives him gold stars for his classwork. It is winter. It is early morning. He goes to the park. He puts on his ice skates. He skates on the pond. He skates round and round. Nobody else is on the pond. He has it all to himself. It is quiet on the pond. The only sound is his skates on the ice. He has a pocket knife. It has two parts. It has a knife. The knife is 2 inches long. It is sharp. He cuts rope with the knife. He cuts wood with the knife. The other part is a file. The file is 2 inches long. He files his nails with the file. He puts a camera into his pocket. He gets on his bicycle. He rides his bike to the lake. He gets off his bike. It is a big lake. He takes the camera out of his pocket. There are ducks on the lake. He takes pictures of the ducks and the lake. He is a bus driver. He drives a school bus. He drives the bus 5 days a week. He drives the bus in the morning. He drives it in the afternoon. He picks up kids near their homes. He takes them to school. He picks them up at school. He takes them home. The door to the store is open. He walks in. He looks around. He wants to buy a pen. He walks to the back of the store. He sees pens and pencils. He sees a package of ballpoint pens. They have black ink. He grabs a package. He takes it to the cashier. He has an imaginary friend. He talks to his friend. His friend listens to him. His friend is smart. His friend is funny. His friend gives him advice. His friend goes everywhere with him. He and his imaginary friend are best friends. He is never alone. He is never lonely. His friend is always with him. She puts on her swimsuit. She puts sunblock in her beach bag. She puts a towel in her beach bag. She puts a big bottle of water in her beach bag. She puts on her flip-flops. She puts on her sunglasses. She puts on her big hat. It protects her from the sun. She's ready for the beach. She looks for the TV remote. She looks under the cushions. She looks under the sofa. She looks around the living room. She looks on the dining room table. She goes to the kitchen. She sees the remote. It is on the kitchen counter. She picks it up. She goes back to the living room. She wants health insurance. She calls up the health insurance company. She talks to a representative. He asks her many questions. She is 28. She is in good health. She has no health problems. She makes $40,000 a year. He approves her for insurance. Her premium is $300 a month. She thanks him. He is upset. He has no job. He has no friends. He has no hope. He gives up. He takes the bus. The bus goes to a bridge. He gets off the bus. He walks onto the bridge. It is a high bridge. He looks down at the water. It is a long way down. He needs to buy some items at the store. He writes down the items on a piece of paper. He puts the paper into his wallet. He goes to the store. He takes the paper out of his wallet. He looks at the paper. He finds each item. He checks off each item. She sits down in the chair. She unties a shoelace. She takes off her left shoe. She puts it on the floor. She takes off her sock. She puts it on the shoe. Her foot is sore. She rubs her foot. Her foot feels better. She feels better. She unties the other shoelace. He is a daredevil. He climbs tall buildings. He climbs them with his bare hands. He climbs buildings all over the world. He climbs for fun. He loves to climb. The police love to arrest him. They always arrest him at the top of the building. He goes to jail for a day or two. Her boyfriend is sweet. She loves him. He loves her. He carries her books. He sharpens her pencils. He helps her do her homework. He takes her to dinner. He takes her to the movies. He gives presents to her. He writes love letters to her. He is too good to be true. She goes to the swimming pool. She goes into the locker room. She changes into her swimsuit. She puts her clothes in a locker. She goes out to the pool. It is a hot and sunny day. She looks at the cool blue water. She dives in. The cool water feels good. She gets in the elevator. She presses a button. The button says 3. She presses another button. The button says close doors. The elevator doors close. The elevator goes up. It goes past the 2nd floor. It goes to the 3rd floor. The elevator stops. The doors open. She gets out. She is on the 3rd floor. He chews gum. He chews all kinds of gum. He chews chewing gum. He chews bubble gum. He blows bubbles with bubble gum. He blows big bubbles. They are as big as a grapefruit. Then they burst. He wipes the bubble gum off his face. Then he blows another big bubble. It bursts too. He laughs. He likes watermelon. A watermelon is pretty. It is green on the outside. It is red on the inside. It is hard on the outside. It is soft on the inside. It is juicy on the inside. A watermelon is sweet. Some watermelons have seeds. He spits them out. Some watermelons have no seeds. His mind controls his thoughts. His mind thinks about negative things. His mind thinks about past insults. His mind thinks about his bad decisions. His mind thinks about rude people. His mind thinks about all the bad things in his life. His mind never thinks about the good people and the good things in his life. She looks at the magazine. The magazine cover has a picture. It is a picture of a house. It is a pretty house. She picks up the magazine. She opens it. She turns the pages. She sees more pictures of the house. She likes this house. She reads the article about the house. The blimp flies through the sky. It goes 30 miles per hour. It has 2 engines. The engines have propellers. The engines are under the blimp. They are on the gondola. The pilots sit in the gondola. The passengers sit there too. The gondola has big windows. The pilots and passengers look out the windows. She uses a wheelchair. Her legs are weak. She goes everywhere in her wheelchair. She goes to school in it. She goes to restaurants in it. She goes to the park in it. Her wheelchair is electric. It has a battery. She goes forward and backward. She turns left and right. Her wheelchair takes her everywhere. He puts on his shirt. He puts on his pants. He tucks his shirt into his pants. He buttons his pants. He zips up his pants. He sits down. He puts on his left sock. He puts on his right sock. He puts on his left shoe. He puts on his right shoe. He ties his shoelaces. He walks to the elevator. He pushes the down button. He hears the elevator bell. The elevator doors open. Someone walks out. The elevator doors close. The bell rings again. The doors open. He gets in. The elevator goes down. It goes down 7 floors. The doors open. He walks out. He walks into the bathroom. He pulls back the shower curtain. He turns on the shower water. He steps into the tub. He closes the shower curtain. He grabs a bar of soap. He washes all over. He rinses the soap off. He turns off the water. He steps out of the tub. He sees the spider. It is brown. It has long legs. It crawls along the wall. He watches it. It crawls higher. It is near the ceiling. It stops crawling. It sits there for a while. Then it crawls back down the wall. It crawls on the floor. He steps on it. It is dead. He rides to the park on his bike. He rides around the park on a wide road. Many people ride with him. It is a busy day at the park. There are many bike riders and skaters. There are many walkers and joggers. They are all on the same road. It is a busy road. He sees 3 bananas. One banana is yellow and green. Another banana is yellow and brown. Another banana is all yellow. He picks up the yellow banana. He peels it. It peels easily. A ripe banana peels easily. The banana is all white. It has no brown spots. An overripe banana has brown spots. He eats the whole banana. He goes to DMV. He stands in line. He waits with everyone else. He moves to the front of the line. Someone says, "Next." He goes to the counter. He pays money for the test. He gets a receipt. He gets a number. He sits down in a chair. He waits for his number. He turns on the light. He hears a sound. The light goes out. The bathroom is dark. He goes to the closet. He grabs a new light bulb. He goes back to the bathroom. He unscrews the old bulb. He screws in the new bulb. The light goes on. He throws out the old bulb. He sits on the subway steps. He calls out to strangers. He holds out his cap. He asks for help. He asks for money. He asks for change. Some strangers stop. They hand him a quarter. They hand him $1. Most strangers pass by. They give him nothing. They are in a hurry. He bounces the ball. He bounces it up and down on the court. He passes it to his teammate. They both run. They run toward the basket. 2 other players run too. They want the ball. His teammate jumps up. He shoots the ball. It goes into the basket. Their team scores 2 points. She has an aquarium. There are 4 fish in the aquarium. They are all small fish. They are different colors. One fish is red. Another fish is blue. Another fish is yellow. Another fish is pink. She looks at the fish. Their mouths are open. She thinks they are hungry. She feeds them. She works for the post office. She delivers mail. She fills up her mail bag with mail. She pushes the mail bag on the sidewalk. She stops at each house. She delivers mail to each house. She picks up mail from each house. She works in all kinds of weather. That is her job. She goes to the newsstand on the corner. She looks at the lottery sign. Powerball is now $99 million. She wants to win some money. She asks for 10 Powerball quick pick tickets. The vendor prints them out. She hands him $10. He hands her the tickets. He says good luck. She thanks him. He works in a bank. He is a teller. He talks to customers. He puts money in their accounts. He takes money out of their accounts. He accepts cash from them. He gives cash to them. They stand in line to see him. He stands behind the counter to serve them. It is Christmas time. Christmas Day is only 4 days away. The stores are busy. They are full of shoppers. Shoppers buy gifts for their family. They buy gifts for their friends. They buy expensive gifts and inexpensive gifts. They buy big gifts and little gifts. The store owners are happy. They love Christmas time. She takes the dirty sheet off the bed. She takes the dirty pillowcases off the pillows. She puts a clean sheet on the bed. She puts clean pillowcases on the pillows. She puts the blanket on the bed. She puts the dirty sheet and pillowcases into the laundry basket. She goes into the next bedroom. He looks at the plant. It is in a pot. The plant looks dry. Its leaves droop. It needs water. He picks up the pot. He carries it to the kitchen. He fills a glass with water. He pours the water into the pot. He puts the plant back on his desk. It is fall. Leaves fall in fall. They fall to the ground. They all fall. They fall one after another. They are different colors. They are brown. They are red. They are orange. He rakes up the leaves in his yard. He fills 10 plastic bags with the leaves. He drags the bags to the curb. He hates fall. He looks out the window. The sky is gray. Leaves fall from the trees. Paper flies through the air. It is windy. He goes back to his book. He hears raindrops. He looks out the window again. He sees the rain. He closes the window. He goes back to his book. She opens the bag of coffee beans. She pours some beans into the grinder. She puts the lid back on top of the grinder. She turns on the grinder. She grinds the beans for 10 seconds. She removes the lid. She pours the ground beans into a paper filter. She boils some water. She stands on the sidewalk. She stands behind a small table. She peels a mango. She slices it. She puts it into a plastic cup. There are 5 cups on the table. They are for sale. 1 cup costs $2. A man stops. He buys a cup for $2. She likes a dress in a clothing store. She takes it to the dressing room. She tries it on. She stands in front of the mirrors. She looks at the front of the dress. She turns and looks at the back. The dress fits her well. She takes it off. She goes to the cashier. A plastic bag lines the trash can. The bag is full of trash. He ties the top of the bag. He takes it out of the trash can. He feels the bottom of the bag. It is dry. There is no leak. He puts an empty bag into the trash can. He takes the full bag outside. The potted plant is on the windowsill. She looks at the plant. It has a yellow leaf. She pulls off the yellow leaf. She throws it in the trash. She takes the plant to the kitchen sink. She turns on the faucet. She waters the plant. She puts the plant back on the windowsill. Her hero is a rock singer. He has a snake tattoo. She wants a tattoo like his. His snake tattoo has 2 heads. She goes to a tattoo parlor. The tattoo artist gives her the tattoo. He puts it on her right forearm. It takes about 3 hours. She is proud of her new tattoo. He is angry about his taxes. He pays too much tax. He blames the government. He decides to do something. He has a small airplane. He gets into his plane. He flies it to the city. He flies it into a government building. He kills himself. He kills nobody in the building. She has happy thoughts. She thinks about good things. She thinks about good people. She controls her thoughts. Sometimes she has a negative thought, but she quickly pushes it out of her mind. She changes the channel. She listens to only happy thoughts. Happy thoughts keep her happy. She feels good. She sleeps well. It is an uphill race. The runners run up the stairs. They run up the stairs in the Empire State Building. There are many steps. It is a difficult race. It takes a long time. It is an annual race. The runners are in very good condition. They train all year round. She loves her boyfriend. He loves her. They decide to marry. They decide on a wedding date of June 10th. They are excited. They send invitations to their families. They send invitations to their friends. She needs a wedding dress. She tells her mom. Her mom gives her her own wedding dress. He is at the beach. He sits on the sand. He watches the waves. They splash onto the beach. It is a hot day. He gets up. He walks into the water. A wave knocks him down. He falls into the water. He stands up. He dives into the water. The water is cool. It feels good. She sits down on the bench. It is a piano bench. She puts her fingers on the piano keys. She plays a song. The music sounds good. Her dog howls to the music. Her cat leaves the room. She plays the song again. Her dad enters the room. He sits down and listens. The dishes are in the sink. The dishes are dirty. She wets the sponge. She pours dishwashing soap onto the sponge. She washes the dishes with the sponge. She rinses the dishes. She puts the dishes on the rack. The dishes dry on the rack. The dishes are clean and dry. She looks at the floor. There is hair on the floor. There are peanut shells on the floor. There are pennies on the floor. There are paper clips on the floor. She has a dirty floor. She grabs a broom. She grabs a dustpan. She sweeps the floor clean. She sweeps everything into the dustpan. There is a wedding. The wedding is next month. He buys a new suit for himself. The suit costs $400. It is a dark blue suit. He buys a gift for the bride. He buys an iPad for her. He buys a gift for the groom. He buys a tennis racket for him. He stands at the bus stop. He looks at his watch. He is late. He taps his foot. He looks at his watch again. He looks down the street. He looks for the bus. He sees the bus. It is a block away. It approaches slowly. It finally arrives at the bus stop. She looks at her teeth in the bathroom mirror. They are yellow. She goes to the dentist. She opens her mouth. The dentist looks in her mouth. He sees her yellow teeth. He cleans her teeth. He uses a brush. He uses a pick. He uses floss. The dentist finishes. Her teeth are less yellow. He opens his laptop. He pushes the button. The computer turns on. The computer screen lights up. The icons appear on the screen. He clicks on an icon. He goes online. He visits a website. The website is about movies. He reads about a new movie. It is a really scary movie. He calls up his friend. He goes downstairs to the lobby. He opens his mailbox. There is no mail. He closes the mailbox. He walks outside. He goes to the corner. He opens the newspaper box. He takes a free newspaper out of it. He walks over to the little park. He sits on a bench. He reads the newspaper. The city is on the alert. Police worry about terrorists. It is the 10th anniversary of 9/11. Police are everywhere in the city. They are in the subway stations. They are on the trains. They are on the bridges. They are in the tunnels. They are at ground zero. They are on the alert. He reads the textbook. He has a test tomorrow. He studies before every test. He studies every word. He highlights the important words. He highlights the important sentences. He highlights the important paragraphs. The book has yellow highlights everywhere. He studies into the night. He studies all night long. He falls asleep during the test. He drives his car fast. He drives it too fast. A cop sees him. The cop turns on his red light. The cop turns on his siren. The cop chases him. He ignores the cop. He drives faster. He tries to get away. He speeds up. He misses a corner. He crashes his car. The pin is 100 yards away. The flag on the pin moves a little. The light wind blows from right to left. He selects his club. He takes a practice swing. He looks at the flag again. He hits the golf ball. It lands on the green. It is 10 feet from the hole. It is a good shot. She is a hard worker. She works all day. She brings her work home. She works into the night. She sits at her computer until midnight. She turns off her computer. She crawls into bed. She sets her alarm for 6 o'clock. She goes right to sleep. She dreams about her job. The pitcher stands on the mound. He looks at the batter. He looks at the catcher. The catcher gives him a sign. The catcher wants a fastball. The batter stands there. He waits for the pitch. He takes a practice swing. The pitcher winds up. He throws the ball. The batter swings. He misses. He has a new laptop. He goes online every day. He reads his email. He replies to his email. He visits different websites. He reads the news online. He reads the sports. He checks the weather. He watches TV programs. He makes travel plans. He loves his new laptop. He is hungry. He goes to McDonald's. He stands in line. He waits his turn. He orders a hamburger. He orders large fries. He orders a large soda. He pays for the order. He gets his change. He gets his receipt. He waits for his meal. They call his number. His meal is ready. She buys a new shirt. She snips off all the buttons. She sews all the buttons back on. She tests them. She pulls on them. They are strong. She cuts off all the labels. They scratch her sensitive skin. She throws out the labels. She puts on her new shirt. It feels comfortable. The clothes are dirty. They are in the laundry basket. She picks up the laundry basket. She takes it to the laundry room. She puts the dirty clothes into the washer. She selects the temperature. She puts 4 quarters into the coin slot. The washer fills with water. She leaves the laundry room. She looks at the candy bar. It says Butterfinger on the wrapper. She takes off the wrapper. She throws it into the trash can. She bites into the candy. She chews it. It tastes good. She swallows it. She takes another bite. Soon the candy bar is all gone. Nothing remains except the wrapper. He looks at the living room carpet. It looks dirty. He sees strands of hair. He sees food crumbs. He sees dust balls. He grabs the vacuum cleaner. He turns it on. He vacuums the carpet back and forth. He turns off the vacuum cleaner. He empties the canister. The carpet is clean. She is hungry. She goes to her favorite restaurant. It is 2 blocks away. She arrives at the restaurant. The waitress takes her to a table. The table is in the corner. It is a nice quiet corner. She sits down. She is thirsty. She orders a drink. The waitress takes her order and leaves. She is a professional golfer. She plays golf. She plays in golf tournaments. She travels all over the U.S. She plays in the spring and summer. She wins some tournaments occasionally. She plays with 14 clubs. There are 14 clubs in her golf bag. Her favorite club is her putter. He walks into the store. He picks up a plastic shopping basket. The basket is blue. Many people are in the store. Many carry a basket. Some baskets are full. Some baskets are empty. He walks over to the refrigerated section. He grabs a carton of milk. He puts it in the basket. He is a vampire. He needs human blood. He sucks blood from humans. He bites their necks and sucks their blood. He sleeps during the day. He fears sunlight. He fears crosses. He fears garlic. He sleeps in a coffin. He leaves his coffin at night. He searches for victims. Many people are in front of the museum. Some people sit on the steps. Some people stand. Some take pictures. Some stand in line. They buy ice cream. They buy hot dogs. Buses and taxis stop and go. The museum is open. Many people are inside. Many people are outside. It is a busy place. She looks at the bathroom sink. It is dirty. It looks yellow. It needs cleaning. She grabs a sponge. She wets the sponge. She grabs some cleanser. She sprinkles the cleanser into the sink. She scrubs the sink with the sponge. She rinses the sponge. She rinses the sink. The sink is white. She sits in her chair. She is at work. She shivers. Her office is freezing cold. She complains to her boss. He ignores her. Her boss likes it cold. It is hot outside. It is summer. But she wears a winter jacket inside. Her co-workers also wear jackets. They all hate their boss. It is 4th of July in the USA. It is hot and sunny. People fly the U.S. flag. Flags are everywhere. People have picnics. They put hamburgers and hot dogs on the barbecue grill. They eat corn on the cob. They watch fireworks at night. They celebrate the birthday of the USA. He opens the envelope. A bill is inside. It is his monthly electric bill. The bill this month is $50. He grabs his checkbook. He writes a check for $50. He signs the check. He puts the check and the bill inside another envelope. He seals the envelope. He puts a stamp on the envelope. She has a headache. She feels dizzy. She goes to the doctor. The doctor examines her. She needs brain surgery. The doctor opens her skull. The doctor fixes the bad part of her brain. She spends a week in the hospital. Her headache and dizziness are gone. Modern medicine saves her. He turns on the hot water faucet. He turns on the cold water faucet. He tests the water temperature. The water is the right temperature. He pulls open the shower curtain. He steps into the tub. He pulls the curtain closed. He grabs a bar of soap. He rubs the soap between his hands. People wait in line. They want to buy a lottery ticket. The lottery is worth $100 million. Everyone hopes to get the winning numbers. Everyone wants to be the lucky winner. Some people buy a quick pick. Any 6 numbers are okay with them. Some people pick their own numbers. They have their favorite numbers. He wants a job. He fills out an application form. He prints his full name. He prints his address. He writes down his zip code. He writes down his social security number. He writes down his home phone number. He writes down his cell phone number. He signs his name and dates the form. It is a new car. It is a Honda. It has a new car smell. It smells so good. The car has shiny red paint. It has shiny black tires. It has shiny silver hubcaps. It has soft leather seats. They are so comfortable. It has tinted windows. It has a sunroof. It gets 30 miles to the gallon. She opens the refrigerator. She grabs a head of lettuce. She grabs some tomatoes. She grabs some green onions. She chops up the lettuce. She slices the tomatoes and onions. She puts them all into a bowl. She mixes them up. She pours salad dressing on top. She tastes it. It is a delicious salad. He talks to a stranger. The stranger backs away. The stranger offers him chewing gum. He accepts it. He goes home. He goes into the bathroom. He brushes his teeth. He scrapes his tongue. He opens a bottle of mouthwash. He gargles with it. He rinses his mouth with water. He feels better. Ants are so busy. They have 6 legs. They walk back and forth. They walk on their trails. They greet each other with their antennas. They carry bits of food. They carry leaves. They carry dead insects. They are always busy. They are busy their whole lives. They never stop. They work until they die. He stands on the corner. He wears a blue uniform. He wears a cap. He has a gun. He has a badge. He is a policeman. He is a cop. He protects the public. He watches everyone. He watches for criminals. He watches for terrorists. He looks for suspicious behavior. He listens for suspicious sounds. The bus is full of passengers. It is a tour bus. It is a double-decker. Tourists sit on the top deck. A guide has a microphone. He tells the tourists about the city. He points out the buildings. He gives the history of each district. He tells jokes. Tourists enjoy looking, listening, and learning. He is from the planet Krypton. He is Superman. He is strong. He lifts locomotives. He has super hearing and supervision. He is fast. He flies through the air. He flies faster than a speeding bullet. He rescues people in trouble. He catches criminals. He is the greatest hero of all. She gets dressed. She grabs her purse. She leaves her apartment. She goes downstairs. She walks out of the building. She walks 1 block west. She arrives at the subway station. She walks down the stairs. She goes through the turnstile. She walks down some more stairs. She waits on the platform.